Theo Vaughn had Vince Vaughn on yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Vaughn and
Or
Vaughn.
maybe it was
Are they related?
yesterday. No, their names are spelled differently. They're not
They could
related.
still be related.
It changed at Ellis Island, I think, back in the day.
Yeah. Anyway, Vince Vaughn, Theo Vaughn, and Theo Vaughn's podcast, by the way, is bigger than most network television shows.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Yeah.
Same with that too. Joe Rogan, if you took all his episodes, at least a couple a week would be in the top 5 of the network shows for the week.
I believe it.
I don't know how many people he hires, but Theo Vaughn, I think his staff is like 6 people.
That's it?
Yeah, and you've got like these late night shows hire 200 people to draw maybe a third or a fourth of the audience Theo Vaughn's podcast gets.
Holy shit.
I mean, is that nuts or what?
Mm-hmm.
Theo kind of came out of nowhere for me, too. Like, I didn't like him back in the day.
I didn't really know him. I knew he was on those MTV
challenges, shows. Real. I think he was on Real World originally, or was it Road Rules? I don't remember which.
Road Rules, I think.
Okay, but yeah, he was just kind of a weirdo, and now he's kicking ass.
He got into stand-up, and stand-up did pretty well, and then the podcast is just taking him another level. But he did go through the Brendan Schaub part of the operation, and that was where he kind of took off.
You would think one of these late-night shows would just try to hire him and offer him money because they could make the money on it.
Yeah.
Selling advertising.
For sure. Vince is promoting Mike plus Nick plus Alice, a rated R comedy with action, apparently.
Sweet.
I don't know if it's good. I have no idea.
I haven't seen Vince Vaughn in anything in a long time.
Oh, he had a series. I think it was Prime Video, not so long ago. He's
on
detective.
Apple, right? Yeah.
What was it about?
It wasn't very good.
An ex-cop turned detective, kind of.
Yeah, I did.
Unconventional.
I attempted to watch that. I didn't think it was very good, but he can be great.
Predictable.
But anyway, they're having fun. You know, Theo always talks about, there's always a lot of nostalgia talking about being a kid. And so they get to talking about the pre-internet era where cocks were everywhere. Disney was just firing cocks at us from all angles in cut one.
Well, there's all those Disney had the secret cocks in the movies. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah. And they did, by the way.
Did they?
I think that you could find those
never
images.
even looked at
Did
it.
you ever smoke cigarettes?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Camel?
Yeah.
They have that weird stuff on the Camel cigarette. It looks like a guy, I think, who's naked or something, right?
I don't know.
Put up those Camel cigarettes. Remember you could make out the outline of a guy on...
With a wiener?
I think so. I think if you look at it hard enough.
You look at anything, you'll see a little bit of cock, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? If you mill around a gas
I'm going to
station.
get up there and see it.
Dude, you spend 40 minutes at a gas station, you'll see somebody's cock.
What?
Is that accurate? 40 minutes at a gas
I
station?
don't know. I've
to see
never
someone's
spent
cock?
40 minutes at a gas station.
Theo has.
Yeah, is he hanging around gas stations?
Oh, let's send Roberto to a gas station, see how long it takes for him to see a cock.
By the way, Theo says some things that just sort of go by
Yeah.
that I think are really weird or not very funny or don't make any sense, and they just sort of go by. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not saying I don't like him either. But anyway, let's get back to the camel packs, and Vince seeing a dude displaying his wiener on a camel.
Look at his hands are on his hips like this. Same shit here.
Let me see that.
Looks like, yeah, right there.
There we go.
Look at it. Stay. Yes!
That ain't shit.
I'm telling you, that's something. That ain't an accident.
guy with a... Dude, just...
I think that's just a dude standing up. No?
Dude, there's a picture of a guy smoking like... I mean, I'll tell you this, though. If that were like 15, 20 years ago, then yes, we would all think that. Now
Did
there's
you
just...
ever hear shit too, like Pop Rocks and Coca-Cola make your stomach blow up and all that?
Yeah, or they'll kill a Bichon or whatever if you give them to him.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah, that
People
was...
were bored. We didn't have the internet. We were making shit up, bro. We were hearing like Rod Stewart had to get his stomach pumped. Were you hearing all that?
Richard Gere was like working for a... Like
had a hamster.
Had a hamster.
I don't think that's true. I don't want to discourage nobody, but I think this was the stuff going around.
Yeah, but that was a great rumor.
That was Camel cigarettes. Had some fucking naked dude on it. That's what was in the news.
Richard Gere was a gerbil. Wasn't
Gerbil,
it?
yes.
Gerbil, yeah. Armageddon.
In my part of the country.
Wasn't that
Yes, Armageddon.
the safe word?
I miss those days, too.
I know it was kind of fun when the whole country would get a rumor and
Now
just
there's
run
a
with it.
million rumors, and you don't know what to believe.
No.
But everyone believed Richard Gere had a gerbil in his butt.
Yeah. No, I'm assuming it happened.
Yeah.
Lots of childhood memories anyway with Theo and whoever the guest is, and Vince reminisces about visiting his grandpa's farm and getting caught behind some Amish travelers in cut 3.
And we're sitting behind him. We had like a Lincoln Town Car or something my dad was driving. And it was so slow going. And I remember going, why won't these pilgrims get out of our way? And my dad lost his mind. He pulled the car over and took my head off. You're no better than these people. Who are you to talk like that about someone? But he didn't realize, like, I really thought they were pilgrims.
Wow.
I really thought that was a pilgrim because I couldn't even understand.
Of course.
What? These people living, not touching electricity. You know what I mean? But my dad's great and my mom, but they were real keen on, making sure that you were, I think because they moved me to a nicer area, they were real big on making sure I wasn't, feeling better than anybody. But I think he got that one wrong. I think he thought I was making fun of these Amish people. I didn't know what they were.
Yeah, you're like, this could be Christopher Columbus's children or whatever over here. They just,
Christopher Columbus?
What? They're all hopped up on cheese curds and they're slowing down.
Cheese curds. Fuck, we can't get around them.
Dude, that's hilarious, bro. Yeah, that's kind of what we had in our classroom.
That's Canada.
We were super pro-America, too. Everything was. It was taught in that way.
The Pledge
which
of
I thought
Allegiance.
was good. Hell yes.
Me too.
I liked it. By the way, I love it.
I did too.
Yeah.
Well, it kept us together. It was like one thing you had in common. It was like if you, at a certain point, if you don't have anything in common, if you take away things that people have in common, then they don't have anything in common.
I still feel the same way. I still feel like it's the best out there. Not that it's perfect. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't think I don't know how much control everyone even has over it. But I still love the idea of it.
Theo, again, he's just said some really weird things there.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Hopped up on cheese curds? What was that?
So think of the other hand, Steve-O trying to take this stuff on a week or two ago, and it didn't go so well. I think I prefer Theo's approach to this.
He always comes out okay. I mean,
Yeah.
even he said some crazy stuff in that Trump interview.
Yeah.
I mean, when Trump was bragging about the economy in 2018 or something, and he said, yeah, my cousin bought a boat.
That's right.
Yeah.
He kept calling him bro. But people just like him so much, I
Explaining
guess.
cocaine to him.
Oh, yeah. That was very awkward.
Well, it was great in this interview. Vince was laughing a lot.
That
Vince
Amish-
was really laughing.
The Amish pilgrim thing reminds me, there's somebody that works at Fox 2, and somebody else was telling me the story. They wondered when they first got here, like, what are all these Amish people doing around Huntington Woods and Oak Park? Those aren't Amish people. Those are Hasidic Jews.
Yeah, that's easy. I
have
can
the hat.
understand that.
Yeah,
they
same
wear
type
a
of
hat?
thing.
So anyway,
I'll tell you later who it is.
they get to talking about stand-up and Hollywood and politics and where it's at in Cut 4. This is what's getting
With
a lot of
people like
attention.
attaching themselves, like heavily attaching themselves to politics.
Which is part of the job because you're going to talk about current events.
Right, but to attach yourself,
But you don't want to become part of a group and
Right.
feel like you're a champion for one ideology. You want to make fun of everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's happened more over the past few years, but it's always been that. Well, it was for a long time. It was like, Hollywood is pretty much overly kind of a liberal place.
Yeah.
And so you would have,
But not really.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
No, you
It's
don't.
more like we're smart and got it figured out. And if you don't agree,
then you're
then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's true.
It's
more
liberal in the way
elitist.
not liberal in the way that we think, where it's like, hey, it's all groovy.
Right. Yeah, it's not liberal like a hippie with a joint.
No, man, no.
Maybe it
that's
was-
pursuit of happiness. That's cool. Whatever makes you happy, bro.
Right.
Right. That's cool.
Maybe it was at one point though. I think,
I don't know,
but it's definitely got more of an elitist take. Like this is our way or the highway.
I think it's changing now.
Well, do you think it's dissolving now, or do you think it's just spacing out more now? Like
That's an interesting conversation too, because I hear this from the different groups too. I do think that there's less control in some ways, but I also think that they put themselves in a corner with trying to please everybody.
Yeah. So actually, the late night talk is probably getting the most attention. Did you see much on that, Jim?
Yeah, I did. And I was going to say about that, too, how much shit is he going to get in the coming days?
I don't know.
You don't think we're going to hear from
who?
someone? Vince
think-
Vaughn.
Don't we know?
Late night shows doing jokes about it, or not even jokes. They're probably going to rip on. They're going to be
Oh, they won't
pissed.
touch it, will they?
I don't
Uh,
think
I
so.
think
It's
not.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah,
I
but
think Vince
someone's-
Vaughn is. I think he's known to be not liberal. I don't know if he's not like a guy that you see out campaigning for Trump, but I think
No, but he's been seen with him, and then people hate him. I'm never going to watch Swingers again because he was at the national championship game with Trump or whatever he was at with him.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, if you even say hi to Trump or shake his hands, there's certain people, but those people are usually ignored.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't.
think.
Vince Vaughn doesn't like those people, anyways.
But I have sort of wondered what happened to Vince Vaughn's career because he was pretty hot. I mean, at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's cycles, but does that have anything to do with it? I don't know. He's a Midwestern guy, which I really find. I think I relate to him in that way. He seems very measured.
Where's he from?
He's from Indiana.
Indiana, but he spent time in Ohio, Illinois, a lot of time in Illinois.
What was he promoting on Theo Vaughn show?
Mike plus Nick plus Alice, his comedy, his action comedy. It's rated R. They did talk about it some, but they talked about so many things. But you know who else is Midwestern? Chapel Roan is from Missouri. I was surprised to read
like
that.
a real small area from Missouri.
How did she get so? See you next Tuesday.
She's a lesbian.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Probably in an area that really didn't like lesbians.
I suppose, possibly. I mean, at her age, would have been that bad? I don't know. She's young. But anyway.
Well, I mean, that's according to her, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I agree with anything she says without further examination. So, talking about late night, and they're talking about how late night comedy, and this is back to the size of the staff. You know, you've got these shows with these giant staffs. They can't compete with this small podcast. Not even close in Cut 5.
I think it's one of the reasons why, like, I've seen a lot of why a lot of the late shows have struggled.
Oh,
because
bro.
all they did during the only person they could make fun of at a
Bro.
certain point was just like white redneck kind of people, and it fucking tanked, and then everything tanked after that.
Think about that. But see, they never get it right. The podcasts have gotten so much more popular with less production, less writers, less staff. And the reason why
we have two people working here, and both of them are hungover. Then one guy has shingles.
But the place is clean. I like that. You keep a clean place.
Thank you. Yeah, we did the vacuum.
Shingles.
We do the vacuum. All they can make fun of is white redneck people. Did that make
I don't know
any
if it
sense?
was quite
No,
that.
it was just
but
political more than anything.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, he says a lot of things that don't resonate at all, and they just kind of go by. I noticed that Vince stopped him a couple times and said, would you repeat that?
Yeah. Say it again.
Anyway, this is the last cut. A little bit more about late night television losing its way.
It stopped being funny, and it started feeling like I was in fucking a class I didn't want to take.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I'm getting
dude.
scolded. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so I think that's the phenomenon isn't what they say. They always blame technology. But the reality is it's the approach. You know, someone could go watch a stand-up at Madison Square Garden and they want to go because it feels dangerous. The crowd is alive. I don't know what Theo's going to do or say, and I love taking that experience, so it's fun. I don't want to stay home and watch it on a TV because I want to experience that live.
Right. And
So
I want it pure.
that's where you're coming from. That's the main point. And I think people are going to tune into a podcast more so because they want to feel like people are having a real conversation. It's interesting to them. But if you look at what happened to the talk shows and why their ratings are low, it's got only to do with the fact of what you just said, which is they all became the same show.
Yeah.
And they all became so about their politics and who's good and who's bad. And it's like, imagine sitting next to someone like that on a fucking plane.
Oh.
That's interesting what he said about technology, because that is the explanation for radio. Oh, it's technology. But radio did nothing to help itself. I mean, what radio plays like 300 songs. All of radio plays like 300 songs.
I would say there's a little bit of truth in technology with the podcast.
Yeah, I think there's some truth.
Because, you don't have to wait till 11:30 at night for something to premiere. And it's probably way too late, but a lot of those shows did catch up, and the second they're done taping it, they start putting pieces out on YouTube, but nobody really cares.
Well, they get some of their stuff on YouTube can get good numbers.
Yeah.
But still.
And Hulu and
I think the other reason is, they have these giant conglomerates that don't want to take risks that own them, like Disney, ABC.
Yeah.
Like, Paramount did back in the, CBS, Viacom, whatever it was back then.
Well, that's part of what he's talking
Comcast.
about. But
They don't want to take risks, whereas a podcast, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But to just blame technology, which,
that's
in my
just
opinion, like
simple.
radio, that is what gets blamed generally is, technology. I mean, it's just not possible for radio to compete. But radio's never tried to change anything.
No.
They try to compete by putting out a podcast, but they just have some intern cutting up a clip and putting it on there, and that's their way of...
Yeah, or they just do the morning show live, and it's just music all day.
It's nothing
it's the same
creative.
fucking songs.
It feels like all creativity was ripped out of radio a long time ago.
Yeah, thanks to Timberlake showing us Jackson's tit.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Timberlake.
her.
Apologize.
I don't know about you, Drew, but
I mean, there was a big chilling effect to that. Where
Yeah.
I mean, I thought we felt a little stifled.
Oh yeah, that was tough. That was a bitch.
I think that started with the FCC ownership rules, though, when you could have only a few radio stations. The company would have enough money to run those radio stations. When
People had to be. You had to be different. You had to stick out. There were a lot of different ownerships all over town.
When you can have 6 on a license, then you know, some of them you spend money on, and
they
then
care
some
about
of
the
them,
ones that are already getting ratings to make them bigger. Yeah.
And then some of them you just run spots on that, you know, are like.
And now you have 3 owners. 3 owners in town.
Right. Yeah.
With 8 stations apiece and a couple others, and it's I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever find their way. I mean, eventually, I think won't radio stations get so cheap that some people will buy them that just go, oh, I'm going to do something crazy here.
Yeah, like the religious stations.
That's the way it's going now.
There are a couple of small radio companies, you know, like Port Huron. One of the people we used to work with, Scott Shigley, owns a radio station, and they can play what they want.
They need to take chances. They need to stand
it's not
out,
so tightly
though.
structured.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's funny. Every now and then I'll hear about, I was up in Northern Michigan. I heard the station. I couldn't believe what they played. And they'll run down the place. I'll go, wow, that sounds like a cool station. I check that out.
I mean, driving up north, through East Lansing, you know, some of the college stations can play whatever they want.
Yeah,
it's really
I mean,
refreshing.
nobody wants to hear the same songs over and over because you get really tired of them.
I don't get tired of that music. I hear it a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when you turn it on, you're going to hear the same songs eventually. So Chapel Roan.
That's what he meant.
Well, Drew, I want to say too quickly, even though Theo says a lot of crazy shit you don't understand, like Liz, watching most of that interview, I still feel like I understood what he was saying without, I can't explain it.
Usually
but there was
I do.
something likable about him and Vince Vaughn together.
Goofballs.
Oh, definitely. No, it was a very enjoyable podcast.
Yeah.
He just says some shit that I go, what?
What makes me laugh?
But overall, he'll get into any topic. That's what you have to like about him, because so many shows won't get into, you know, a lot of stuff, and he'll take on anything. So I credit him for that.
He interviewed the Rizzler. I mean, that's all you need to know right there, right? Anybody that's going to make the Rizzler entertaining.
He's doing like 2 or 3 million a show, sometimes 8 million, 5 million. I mean, he's doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck it is, but he's doing something right for sure.